Alright, today the Bunny and Keith Lee DLC came out, and I wanted to discuss it after I played it today, and I'm gonna let you know how I feel about it. First off, I did a match with Keith Lee. First off, I want to say his design looks really good. It looks pretty accurate. I have no issues with it at all. He looks pretty good. I think he looks like one of the best characters on here. I think his entrance is pretty good, even though it's like 3 seconds long. And I also, in this, made him go against Luchasaurus, so I'll show you guys his new attire. So yeah. Now, for his moveset, I really enjoy the way Keith Lee moves. It's definitely good for online play, because when you get going, you get going. And then his defense is great. Once you try to hit him, you see that his power goes up. So it's very hard to knock him down, and that's what I like about it. Every time you try to get a reversal on and you're reversing his moves, he gets a boost, and I like the way it works and it's smooth. Now, doing his high fly moves is pretty tough for me, but that's me with everybody. I'm trying to get used to that. But everything else is pretty good. I like every single rope technique he uses. Of course, I love his finisher and all that, but it's insane to see how accurate this Keith Lee moves. I think everything about it is nice, and he's definitely something and one of the best characters in the game so far. I like the DLC when it comes to Keith Lee. Everything is very smooth, and it looks pretty real and exactly some stuff that Keith Lee does in IRL. When it comes to his signature, it looks really clean, as well as everything else. And I think this is definitely one of the best, I could say DLCs, but this is the first ever DLC, except the FTR one. But I do think this character is a pretty good way to start off the DLC trend. And honestly, that's all I can say about Keith Lee from there. Definitely suggest you use this guy online, because I will. Because I do think Keith Lee is one of the best wrestlers on this AEW Fight Forever roster. So there goes my opinion and my thoughts on Keith Lee. Now we're going to move on to the next DLC character, which is none other than the Bunny. Now here's my situation with the Bunny. I think her character looks absolutely terrible. I don't think she looks good at all. Then again, she does have a weird looking face in real life, but other than that, I don't hate it. I mean, I don't think she has the best moveset, in my opinion. I feel like she has a very generic moveset when it comes to it. There is some plus things to her though, but I'll get into it. Like, I think all her grapples and stuff are very, very basic, and I feel like they just downloaded her and then like edited her moveset, and they clicked on like moveset 56 and like all that stuff, because everything feels generic, including most of her taunts except one, which is kind of like her main one. Other than that, I don't see anything very impressive with the Bunny, and it's not a character I can see that, I can go online with and be like, yeah, the Bunny, we better take over. However, there is something I do like about the Bunny's character, and it's her finisher. What I love about it is not what it looks like, but how it affects online. Like, it's not the easiest thing to, reverse when it comes to about to do it, as if, in the game when you're taunting to do your finisher and then you go for it, it's hard for them to release it, and I'm gonna show you why in a second. But this is her moveset basics, and there's nothing really wrong. Like I said, I don't think she's the best. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think they should have started off the DLC with the Bunny, but hey, it is what it is, And now I'm gonna bring up the signature and finisher part. Like I said, we're gonna go through it, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why it makes sense. But before that, I want to say her top rope work isn't the best. Her taunts aren't as good, like I said. I just think it's a very generic moveset, and there's so much they could have did better, but it's whatever. That's the taunt I like. I like the little jump skip, and then I also like the way she does her move transitions when she comes into grappling. Now, here's the part what I was talking about. This is her signature, which is pretty dope. I like it. Like I said, very basic, but this is what I like. Look how fast it is to turn into her finisher. Look how fast she was able to grapple onto her to do her finisher. That is going to work perfectly online. It's going to be hard for people to reverse that because how fast you can instantly go into her finisher. That is one of the biggest plus I get from the Bunny. Now, will I be using her online? Most likely not, but I do think if you want to get the easy W. I think using her finisher is a wise choice because it's hard to get out of. Next, we have the mini games. The first one is MJF's car thrash. Now, it's pretty simple. MJF's cutting a promo, and you have to beat up his car until it explodes, but every now and then he's going to turn around, and if you get caught, you lose points. Very simple, but I really enjoyed it. I mean, I suck at it, but, it is a fun thing. I got caught many times, but I do like the fun into it. You got to quickly punch and kick, and it's hard to time because you don't know when he's going to stop. Like, it's very hard to time. I try to quickly do it and then stop, but then I keep getting caught. Try to do a quick little punches, kicks, and then turn around, and then there you go. Then we have Sloth Sling, which is basically like Angry Birds kind of thing, where you just slingshot yourself into it, and as many people you knock or objects you knock down, you get enough points. So you just move your stick diagonally and then hit X and you jump, and then you receive points for how much damage you do. And yeah, it's pretty simple, pretty basic, but I like it. It's definitely going to be something I'm going to be, trying to do when it comes to, gameplay for you guys. We're definitely going to do some mini game stuff, like I've said, but I do think this mini game is pretty good. I like it. And by the way, Sammy and the bunny are not good at this game mode. I don't know why, but yeah, that's it. And that is the Bunny and Keith Lee DLC pack. I think this overall, I give it an 8 out of 10. The bunny is just not doing it for me, but everything else seems pretty legit. I definitely suggest you do pick up this DLC. If you didn't download the season pass when you got it, you should definitely buy this. I think it's worth it. Let me know in the comments if you use them or if you like the DLC or not.